Hello there and welcome back to another video on my channel. How are we doing today? Just to start with, I apologise with the sound of my voice. I am again suffering from a cold this year. I don't know how I've had two in the year in 2 months, but you know, that's just the way excuse me, that's just the way it's gone for me. But I made a commitment when I did this channel and I'm going to keep up with it. So today I'm going to go through the monthly favourites for January with a few bits from December thrown in because I feel like it. And it will also help to remind me everything that's been good about the past month. So let's go. So I am a bit strapped for cash this year. I'm going to try and save as much as possible. So it's in these videos as I want these to be like a monthly thing, obviously with it being monthly favourites. I'm not going to talk so much about things that I have bought per se, I mean. So I'm going to talk about things that I don't have to buy for but are still favourites to me. So my favourite video that I posted and uploaded and did myself on my channel is my Studio Sort Out Part 1 video, as I felt that it was the most productive video that I've posted so far this year, let alone last year. Plus it was also great to know that looking back in the first month that I've done something productive this year, because it's just great to know that you have done something productive when so much of my time is spent doing other things. Being able to allow time to do something productive is huge for me. My favourite blog post that I uploaded last month was my cupcake Gemma scones, because they were something, it wasn't necessarily the scones that I wanted to do, but I said last year that this year I wanted to spend some time doing my own recipes that I come up with, plus YouTube recipes that I've converted to gluten-free, lactose-free and yeast-free, magazine recipes that I've collected over the years, making them the same, and also doing some from Pinterest, which has actually changed to being magazines and cookbooks, so that's a really great thing for me. And it was one of the first ones that I did, so it made me feel really good that I had again achieved that goal really quickly in the year. My favourite outfit, this is actually from December, was what I wore on Christmas Day, because I absolutely loved that outfit. I loved the sprout top, I loved the jacket that my dad bought me, I loved the dungaree dress, I loved the thermal leggings, I loved the entire outfit. My favourite beauty product, now this is something that I'm not very good at talking about because I'm not a very beauty person. I don't use or like makeup particularly unless I am a model for someone, in which case I absolutely love it. But I'm going to go through things that I use personally and find really, really good. So my beauty product for January and December was this Tresemme Tresemme Used by Professionals Volume and Body shampoo and conditioner. I absolutely loved these. These I use for every video because it just gives my hair that lift it needs. I've got very thin hair and it just sort of it just sort of falls down, and these are absolutely excellent for, as it says on the bottle, volume and body. I would highly recommend it to you. Next up, I'm going to talk about my favourite book from last month. Now, I'm actually an incredibly slow reader. It takes me an incredibly long time to get through a book, but I started reading The Shining last year, which is here. I started reading this last year and I have got nearly halfway through it and I'm really enjoying it. I'm scared about reading it because I have a slight feeling that although I've seen the film and I know what I'm getting myself into, and I wasn't scared scared by the film in any which way, I was actually just impressed by the sheer acting ability of the actors in the film. But I wanted to read the book because I wanted to see the contrast between the book and the film. And to me personally, my imagination is going to be far scarier than the film could ever be. But this is actually completely different to the film. They're putting a lot more. It's surprising to me how much they've left out of the film but have in the book, you know. So I'm really interested and really enjoying this, and when I've finished reading it, hopefully it will be in next month's favourites as well, because I will have finished it then. Plus I've got the sequel waiting for me, so I'm gonna go hopefully finish this and get through that, and hopefully I won't be too scared. Please no. My favourite bake from the last month was my New Year's cake that I made for New Year's, funnily enough. I actually posted it a couple of days after New Year's because I didn't have the forethought to do it prior, but I really liked it because it was actually one of the first cakes, other than my Harry Potter cake that I did, that involved decoration. I'm not very good at decoration, I don't pretend to be, because I haven't had the time or the practice to get to it, and it was nice to just dabble in that bit and give it a go, and I found it really, really fun making it, so it made it all the better. The next thing I'm going to talk about is my favourite song, in this case favourite songs from the past 2 months. Yeah, past 2 months. The first one of which is Thursday by Jess Lynn, or Jessica Lynn, I can't remember which name she goes by, and I absolutely love it. I constantly find myself singing it, and it's constantly on the My Mix of YouTube. Whenever I'm working, it constantly comes up, and I have to physically stop my work so I can jam along to it and sing along to it while I'm working. No, that makes no sense because I paused work. Anyway, you know what I mean. And the other song is True Love, which is actually from the film High Society, and it is sung by Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly. The reason that I like that song is, one, because I think it's just a great love song. Secondly, the reason I watched the film was because my grandmother and just my grandmother this time, did a amateur production of the musical, so we actually watched the film. And I love the song so much that I've actually genuinely believe that it's going to be my first dance song at my wedding. And I'm constantly singing it, and I absolutely love both of those songs. There are plenty of others, but those two just shined out for me more. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the favourite buy. Now, I know I said at the beginning of this video that I don't buy very much, but obviously you do buy things because, you know, I'm a woman. I'm not going to pretend that I don't buy things. So my favourite buy from this month is this jacket, which is actually, you're thinking probably the one that my dad bought me for Christmas Day. It actually isn't. I bought it again. I was lucky enough to be able to find it in the shop in Primark. I got it from Primark. And I bought it again because now I've got one for when I'm at home and for when I go out. So it just, I absolutely love this jacket. I've said it in plenty of, I think I've said it in 3 videos in total how much I love it, and it's just great. Moving on to what my favourite moment was for the last couple of months, and to me personally, wholeheartedly, I believe it was going to see having the luxury of being able to go and see my goddaughter in her Christmas concert / Christmas play at her nursery. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it because although my mum could get the time off work to come and see me, do all my school things and everything, it was much harder for her. And it just brings home to me how lucky I am to be in the situation where, because of what I do for a living, because this is what I do and I blog, I work from home, I can be there. I can be there for whoever needs me, and it's such a huge privilege to be able to go and see her in her school play, and I absolutely loved it. It was hilarious to watch as well. It was great. So moving on to a bit of an odd one out favourite, it was this wild berry Asda tea. I don't drink caffeine whatsoever, and that is quite a struggle sometimes, but I wanted to get into more fruit teas and things like that because I think that they're good for me and they can be good for me. And all I drink is water, hot chocolate, apple juice, you know, that's it. That's all I was drinking. So it was nice to be able to mix it up with this. I did have another one that I was going to put in it, but it had pineapple in it. And for some reason, when I ever have pineapple of any kind, it makes my tongue go all weird, so I decided to leave that out. But this was perfect because it was naturally caffeine free and it was blackberries and things. And a video that's coming up in a few weeks time was and currently is me trying to do a anti-inflammatory lifestyle, which is what every bit of this ingredients applies to. So it was nice to be able to get that in drink form as well as having to eat the stuff as well. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is my favourite films that I've been watching over the last couple of months. And the first one I'm going to talk about is When Harry Met Sally. I absolutely love this film. It is one of my all-time favourite films, if not my all-time favourite film. And I absolutely love it, especially with me being ill the last couple of days. I've been watching this quite a lot because it's my go-to feel better film. The next film is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I got this for Mum for Christmas this year, and I have been listening to the soundtrack non-stop for about the last 6 months, whenever the soundtrack came out, and I absolutely love it. One of my favourite one of my favourite things is when they're doing the Dancing Queen number, and Bill Streisengard? Stellan Streisengard, sorry, I'm getting confused with the character name, and Colin Firth do the bit in the Dancing Queen number, and I absolutely love it. The other thing I love about it is Angel Eyes. which is just a huge number. I love it, and it both makes me and my mum laugh, so it's a great film. Watch it, it's great. The second to final film that I'm going to talk about is My Cousin Vinny. This is a film that my dad has been nagging me to watch for about a year, and I finally got it. I did look in HMV and they never had it, and then they finally had it, so I got it. And I watched it with my dad, and he basically said, if you don't like it, I'm going to disown you. So there was some pressure in liking it, but again, this is one that I would go to make me feel better if I'm having a bad day, and I have watched this actually while I've been ill as well. It is brilliant, really, seriously, watch it, it's hilarious. But it does have strong language in it, so if you're adverse to that, don't watch it. But if you like funny, watch this. And the final thing that I'm going to talk to you about is the film Legend. This film is a legend. It is great. It is excellently acted by Tom Hardy. I love it. It's a brilliant film. It is very strong language, very strong violence, and there is a certain point where, to me, it doesn't... I'm going to say goes downhill, but that's not the term I mean, because it's an excellent film. It's just up to a point, it's, to me, really funny, and then after that it just gets really sad, and you know, it's about truth, and what happens in it isn't the happiest of film endings or films, you know. It's about sad topics, and you know, that gets a bit sad, obviously. I don't think I could say that anymore in a paragraph of sentences, but this film is excellently done, excellently made, really funny, and actually just a really interesting insight into what the Krays' life was like. So if you're interested in gangster films, want a bit of funny in it, don't mind a bit of sad, good film to watch. And that is it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, as I love them all. I wouldn't put them there if I didn't, including as many links to all the favourites that I've talked about in this video. Let me know in the comments of anything you think that I should watch, read, or anything you think would be a good favourite for my next video, and I will check it out. And finally, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!